Guys, tem bastante vídeo pra gente assistir agora, tá? Vamos fazer um intensivão então. Ó, intensivão. Aqui é a live do review do PoE que aconteceu no começo do mês. Depois saíram infinitos teasers e aprofundamentos de cada coisa. E meu amigo, eu vou ver tudo agora, tá? Vamos começar. Vamos
Hi,
começar. Vamos lá.
of Exile.
Vambora.
Today, we'd like to showcase two new unique items.
Dois uniques.
First, Nightfall, a shield of the Breachlord Tool herself. And then,
Que da hora o olhinho mexendo, mano.
Nightfall, a shield of the Breachlord Tool herself.
Nossa, eu sou obrigado a falar sempre, mas a textura dos itens desse jogo... Nossa, de outro nível, mano.
And then, Redemption, a Trathan weapon of absolute destruction. These are both being added in Return of the Ancients.
Ok.
Tull ruled her frozen, barren wasteland with an eye cast outward to worlds beyond. She wanted more for her brood, and being the formidable breachlord that she is, she waged war to get what she wanted. Nightfall gives you the opportunity to wage war like a breachlord.
Oh!
Using Soaring Midnight, you throw the shield outward. If you do nothing, it will return to you.
Ok.
However, using the skill again while the shield is airborne will teleport you to the shield and slam it down for ultimate devastation.
Tem cooldown. É óbvio que tem que ter cooldown isso, né? Cooldown 4 segundos. Caralho, velho. Já dá pra puxar o cooldown e foda-se. Cara, pera aí. Acima de tudo, isso aqui é uma skill de movimento. Chocante, mano. Chocante, uma skill de movimento.
Catching the shield or destroying ice crystals will reset the cooldown, allowing you, in the right condition,
Como?
or destroying and slam it down for ultimate devastation. Catching the shield or destroying ice crystals will reset the cooldown, allowing you, in the right condition, to become an avalanche yourself.
Meu amigo. Destrói Ice Crystal, renova o cooldown. Caralho! Que legal, mano. Que legal também. Se você conseguir uma forma de aplicar Ice Crystal rapidíssimo, isso aqui tem muito potencial, mano. Pô, mais do que isso, é legal pra cacete. Que isso, mano? Olha isso! Tamanho dessa explosão, velho. A área da diversão aqui. Meu amigo, diversão insana.
Now another unique, Redemption. This is certainly no ordinary weapon. It specializes in all things that go boom.
Não dá crítico, reduz cooldown, ganha um Explosive Rhythm quando você usa granada, remove todos os Explosive Rhythm em 10 para ganhar Explosive Fervor. O que será que é isso? Então, ganha um quando a cada 2 vezes você joga uma granada. Então, a cada 20 granadas, você ganha Fervor por 10 segundos.
This weapon was created during the peak of the Trathan Wars, and wielded by none other than Ratha Azadi herself. It was designed specifically for her to send a message. Never again would a rival house doubt the ferocity of House Azadi. This modified crossbow cannot use normal ammunition skills, but is particularly effective at leveraging various grenades to demonstrate your explosive rhythm. That's because this isn't really even a crossbow at all. In fact, we've made an entirely new base type for this unique, which you can find at endgame.
Olha, velho, lança-granada, canhãozão, foda-se. É um crossbow, mas não é um crossbow. Ao melhor estilo Path of Exile, um crossbow que não é um crossbow.
And craft to be a rare item too, including having a more grenade-oriented mod pool.
Redemption guaranteed.
Armed with Redemption, and once you have caused enough trouble,
Oh, how'd you like this?
you're ready to unleash explosive fervor.
Explosive Fervor, você ganha por 10 segundos. Um buff que dá 15% de attack speed para cada skill diferente de granada que você usou nos últimos 4 segundos. Causa... Como? Causa skills de granada a ignorar o cooldown e um novo projétil? What the fuck? Você pode só segurar o dedo nesses 10 segundos?
which causes you to ignore the typical cooldowns of grenade skills, on top of dramatically increasing their fire rate if you fire a medley of grenades, allowing you to go on an actual rampage, obliterating everything in sight.
Yeah!
You'll be able to
10 segundos só com o botão direito apertado, cara. What the fuck? A cada 20 granadas que você solta, você ganha 10 segundos disso. Se isso já começar a contar enquanto você tá com ele. Não, não deve. Mas enfim, mesmo que não conte, é muita coisa, velho. Meu amigo, se você dá 3 ataques por segundo, 20 é o quê? 7 segundos. Não, nem. Tá doido. 20 é bem menos. What the fuck? Absurdo, mano.
find Nightfall and Redemption as in-game unique items in Return of the Ancients. Join us for the release of Return of the Ancients.
Massa. Ok, então temos um escudo, Capitão América bombadíssimo com uma explosão gigante e um homem literalmente com uma explosão gigante. Nossa. Michael Bay, mano. Spirit Walker Showcase, a gente já viu isso aqui, né?
Mountainborn hold the
Ou não vimos não. Vamos ver.
spirit dear. But I seek not just to hold it. I seek to become its champion, like the Asmiri of old. I seek to become a spirit walker.
In Return of the Ancients, we're adding an ascendancy class for the Hunters, the Spirit Walker. We covered some of this in our recent content review, but here we will dig deeper and even showcase some potential builds.
Nossa!
Most of the ascendancy class is devoted to 3 aspects of the Spirit: Vivid, Primal, and Wild. The Vivid path conjures stampeding stags when you attack. Vivid Stampede gives you extra damage, area coverage, and shocking capabilities.
Eu acho que a gente já viu isso aqui no review, cara. Eu acho que era só a cinemática ali que a gente não tinha visto. Já vi isso aqui, mano.
If you want to really focus on the stags, the Morrigan's Guidance lets you create even more stampedes with even more damage, trampling your enemies into dust. The
Legal.
Primal path, meanwhile, is all about projectiles. The owl grants you boons in the form of their feathers, which can be spent to add extra projectiles to your next skill.
Essa skill, velho.
If you'd rather unleash the occasional barrage, the Mucker's Gift lets you store up and use multiple feathers at once. And if you're really keen, the owl feathers work on spells too.
Essa
For
skill,
those who
velho.
prefer their animal companions to be more literal, summon a wild protector to give your enemies a bear hug they won't soon forget. The bear is a powerful companion in its own right, and can also provide significant utility,
Legal.
breaking enemy armor, maiming enemies, violent intimidating roars, and keeping itself fit to fight with its large health pool and life leech. Best of all, the bear doesn't even take up your companion slot, so you can keep your tame beast alongside you too.
Ok. Dois
The
companions.
Carther's balance skill can take your companion's damage one step further by giving them extra damage based on your weapon.
Legal.
Spirit walkers who master all 3 aspects of the spirit may attract the favor of the elusive Sacred Wisps. The Sacred Unity passive is free,
Ah, que legal. Quando você pega um ponto de cada, abre um novo ponto. Legal.
It provides enhancements to all 3 skills. The stags seek out enemies and can turn mid-stampede.
Nossa, que da hora.
Our feather-empowered skills create a new type of ground effect. And the bear protects
Qual type of ground effect? Soaring Ground aumenta evasion e dano while on full life. Um sloth pra você e aliados estender nele. Meu Deus do céu. What the fuck?
powered skills create a new type of ground effect. And the bear protects allies near it. Taking this node also causes all 3 skills to change appearance to reflect their sacred empowerment. The The Spirit
Que
Walker has a
foda.
couple of tricks up her sleeve outside of animal spirits. Idolatry provides massive bonuses to more minion-focused builds.
Companions dão mais dano. Ok, tudo relacionado a Companions.
And last, but definitely not least, the Natural Order passive grants Tame Beast the ability to tame bosses.
Esse
Yep,
é muito legal.
all of these.
Ah, ok. São só esses, será?
It probably won't come as a surprise to hear that these bosses can cut through packs and bring the pain to their former friends. If you
Tem
like
mais
the
que
look
esse?
of the Spirit Walker, but need some further inspiration for what to do with her, we've put together a couple of in-game builds to give you ideas. Kindly made by some of our developers.
Nossa.
First up, we have the Stormbringer. We have a standard-looking twister build, dialed to 11, where we utilize
Nossa senhora, velho. E tá eu. E tá eu com meu arqueirinho
we have a standard
de Rapid Fire tentando competir com
looking
isso, velho.
twister build, dialed to
Como que compete com isso?
11, where we utilize Whirling Slash and Barrage to unleash twisters to devastate our enemies. We will use a combination of Barrage and our new notable Primal Bounty to create so many twisters it more resembles a full cyclone.
Meu
Allocating
amigo.
Wild Protector, Primal Bounty, and Vivid Stampede will unlock a notable that empowers all three, giving them more utilities and features. Thanks to Primal Bounty and the Mucker's Gift, we generate a Primal Owl Feather every few seconds that will be used when we dodge roll to empower our next projectile attack, firing more twisters and increasing their speed. But now, we want to start to empower our Wind Ruckus with the elements, gaining significantly more damage. To do that, we take Vivid Stampede, which grants us a
Meu
Vivid Wisp
amigo.
every 10 meters we travel, which we can do faster by following our soaring ground. And then, we expend those wisps to unleash a stampede of stag spirits. Not only do they help kill enemies, they also create shock ground. There you have it. All that combined, we have our Stormbringer. And for our second build today,
Meu Deus do céu, velho. A build tem de graça Shock Ground, aumento de evasão, Onslaught. Por ter rolado, ela tem power de projétil. Meu amigo. Meu amigo.
we have the Zookeeper. This build is for those who prefer to sit back and let your animal army do all the work. The Spirit Walker has enlisted the entire zoo to fight on her behalf, with a whopping 6 companion skills active. This is thanks to Sylvan's Effigy, a new unique scepter coming in Return of the Ancients that completely removes the companion cap, and also gives us a big bad alpha wolf that buffs all our other
Uau.
companions. We've also got a pack of regular wolves, 3 different tame beasts, including the mighty Silverfist, and our trusty bear, with our last bits of spirit used on some skeletal clerics to keep everyone healthy.
Meu Deus.
All you have to do is sit back and enjoy the show, and maybe remind your alpha wolf to summon its spirit friends every once in a while. This might be a good time to mention that companion damage has been buffed across the board. This build
Nossa.
squeezes maximum value out of Spirit Walker's Idolatry node, even wearing Darkness Enthroned to equip more idols. Finally, we're going all the way to the Cartha's Balance and wielding a juicy spear to grant our companions a lot of damage. So, are you ready to embrace the full power of the Spirit? You can do just that on
Nossa, velho. Ou seja, a classe de Companion. Nossa senhora. Muito da hora. Simplesmente muito da hora, velho. Tudo que é Companion nessa classe tá uma delícia demais, cara. Acho que todos têm potencial pra caralho, cara. Que
Hi,
absurdamente legal, mano. Que absurdamente legal. Meu amigo. Cada skill tá ignorante demais. Tá muito, mano. Tá muito. Vamos pro
Mark
próximo.
Roberts, Game Director on Path of Exile. We've heard player feedback on the time it takes to replay the campaign. We're actively going to be making changes to streamline that going forward. And today, we'd like to show you some examples coming in Return of the Ancients.
Boa.
To start off with, in the Grellwood in Act 1, if you happen to find the river, you can follow it upstream and it will always lead you to the Red Vale. When seeking the Tree of Souls, keep an eye out for these magical glowing roots. Follow them and you'll find the tree.
O quê? Magical glowing
Out for these-
roots?
Magical glowing roots.
Isso aqui? Ah, isso aqui. Nossa senhora. Glowing foi redefinido no dicionário agora.
Follow them and you'll find the tree. That's not all. In the same area, you may even see these mushrooms. If you do, keep an eye out for the entrance to the Grim Tangle. It's
Okay.
nearby. Now, the hunting grounds is pretty huge, which is why we're making it easier for you to spot both the entrances to other areas and the various landmarks in this area.
Aham.
Like this nifty signpost in the middle of the path, which will lead you to the Ogham farmlands. And if that wasn't enough direction, there's now a rather grim farm-to-table trail in the form of this pecked-at bovine leading straight to the territory of its butcher, the Bloody Crowbar.
Aham.
The ritual in this area, once completed, will create a trail of locusts leading direct to Freythorn. And once in Freythorn, each ritual will do the same to
Ai,
the
que
next
bênção.
closest ritual.
Meu
This has even
Deus.
been updated to rituals in endgame as well, as an added perk.
Nossa, que
Moving
benção.
into Act 2. Traitor's Passage now has a guaranteed intersection
Meu
where one
amigo.
of the which way to go, just follow the Maraketh parchment, which was used to bind djinns. Surely that'll lead to the Djinn Balbala, right? And
Okay.
of course, Titan Valley. Now you are immediately presented with your goal of the level, this giant set of Titan heads. Behind each is an entrance to a linear canyon. Reach the end of the canyon, activate the
Ai,
seal,
que
and use the
benção.
newly spawned portals to return back to the start and see what activating the seal did. Significantly smoother and clearer objectives in this area.
Meu amigo, caralho. Pra mim, o review do começo do mês podia ser esses 10 segundos, velho. Não precisava de mais nada. Eu ia estar hypando a Liga Nova já por causa disso. Caralho, eu odeio esse mapa com tanta força, velho.
In Act 3, the jungle areas have camps of explorers to sell you items. However, they are now even more useful. By talking to the explorers, they will point towards the next area. The destination is also revealed on your minimap, so you'll always know where to go.
Ok.
That's not all we've improved in the start of Act 3. We've moved the entrance to the waterways to be in the jungle ruins, instead of the infested barrens.
Nossa senhora, Jungle Ruins tá com 4 entradas agora.
And we've added an alternate escape route from the Venom Crypts to allow you to shortcut through the jungle. And we've even moved the Azak Bog to be in the waterways, so you don't need to go searching for it in said sparse jungle. But these are just a few examples. There are many more improvements.
Ok, mudanças de posicionamento dos mapas, mano.
Hi,
Bom. Vamos lá, temos aqui Unix reworkados.
I'm Mark Roberts, Game Director on Path of Exile. Today, we'd like to showcase 2 unique items straight out of the mysterious Wildwood. They're existing items, but have been completely reworked in Return of the Ancients. First, we have a rebranded Husk of Dreams, Reverie, and then the Hollow Mask. A great choice for those botanists out there.
Nossa, olha que bonito esse capacete, mano. Na moral, eu adoro o design de item nesse jogo.
A druidic Magi woman, Sorel of Caer Tarth, led many into battle against the Nameless, who threatened the Wildwood. She was so in tune with the goddess that she'd call upon the very roots of the forest to aid her allies in the heat of battle. With the armor of Sorel, you too can call upon the aid of the goddess Viridian. While Reverie is equipped, you forego regular life flask use to instead passively apply recovery from life flasks constantly.
Wow.
Reverie also grants a sigil skill called Rite of Restoration. Use it to call the goddess to your aid, creating an area that amplifies the defense and regeneration of all those standing within the circle. While you are inside the invocation circle, the bonuses to your defense and regeneration become stronger and stronger as you spend mana.
Ok.
Now, the Hollow Mask.
Legal.
Its roots penetrate your flesh and bone, giving you a direct connection to Viridi herself. What better way to see all the potential gifts she has in store for you? While adorning the Hollow Mask, it will reveal gifts from the goddess in the form of ancient blooms.
Oh shit.
These flowers manifest in the different forms of the wisps of the wildwood.
As plantinhas.
Collecting them will respectively grant you charges for your life flask, mana flask, or charms. But there's more. With its roots well and truly embedded in you, the Hollow Mask causes any remnants that you collect to be shared to your allies in addition to affecting you.
Calma lá, vamos começar do começo. Requires 84, mas dá 18 de evasão. Tô achando que rolou alguma coisa esquisita aqui. Enfim, provavelmente é a versão mais level baixa desse Unique, seja level 1 ou nem level tenha. Isso aqui por early game é ótimo até, mano. Bem gostosinho.
You may want to consider using both of these when playing with your friends, especially when used together, serve as a powerful combo for supporting your allies.
Vou ser sincero, me pareceu uma bosta que você acha que é bom quando você joga com seus amigos desconectado da internet. Tá ligado? Eu consigo imaginar alguém falando, porra, que da hora, mano, vou ajudar nós aqui, mano. Tô botando a máscara aqui, ó. Olha que da hora, tô te dando uns bagulho aí, mano. Eu consigo imaginar, mas parece uma bosta gigante isso aqui.
You'll be able to find Reverie and the
Boa, mano. Vamos ver,
Não.
parece uma bosta gigante. Vamos lá.
Making a character build in Path of Exile 2 can be pretty complex.
Agora sim, hein? O POB dentro do jogo.
While some players enjoy creating their own builds, many prefer following community guides.
Aham.
Over the years, the community has built some incredible tools for this. However, we wanted to make the experience for following a build even smoother. So we're introducing the new build guide system directly in-game.
Aleluia, irmãos.
Here's how it works. Build creators can now export their guides in a new file format, the .build file. Once you download one, put it in the builds directory under Path of Exile 2 in your documents folder. After that,
Eu não vou cuspir no prato. Eu juro que eu não vou. Não me entendam mal. Mas podia ser mais prático. 2026 tem jogo que faz isso mais prático há 10 anos. Podia ter in-game o botão de abrir e dar browse nas builds, tá ligado? Exportar o arquivo. Você ainda tá falando pro cara pesquisar, baixar algo, abrir uma pasta e jogar dentro. Eu não sei quantos de vocês concordam ou entendem isso, mas, mano, isso passou de não existir para ser imprático, o que é ótimo. Ótimo, ótimo. Agora existe, mas é imprático, mano.
it will appear inside the client, and selecting it shows you everything you need to play that build. You can see the full passive tree, your ascendancy choices,
Não, você não vai codar o arquivo, né? Quem vai codar é o pessoal do POB. Provavelmente o que vai acontecer é o pessoal do POB vai implementar a opção de exportar em .build, tá ligado? Alguma coisa assim. Tinha que ser um browser dentro do jogo, mano. Literalmente um browser dentro do jogo.
the skill gems you need to equip,
Já estão fazendo isso? O Jonathan disse que não tá pronto ainda. Glória a Deus, mano. Que bom, que bom, que bom. Ótimo, então. Ótimo.
and recommended support gems to go with them. In each of these locations, there's a drop-down box that allows you to select which build guide you are currently following.
Legal,
So if you want to
legal.
get more than one to see what different creators recommend, then it's easy to toggle between them. For gear, creators can specify exact uniques for each slot, or simply leave notes describing what kind of item they're looking for.
É muito da hora isso aqui. Isso eu achei muito da hora, velho.
In fact, they can add notes to almost anything, explaining trade-offs, alternatives, or how different parts of the build work together.
Muito da hora.
So with all that said, have fun exploring builds or creating guides. Check them out and so much more in Return of the Ancients on May 29th. See you then!
Aleluia, mano. Aleluia. Chegou uma vez na vida um apoio pra galera que faz build e pra galera que segue build, mano. Isso sempre foi um caos no PoE, mano. Vamos lá. Novos uniques. Opa, Facebreaker. Auspex e
Hi,
Facebreaker.
I'm Mark Roberts, Game Director on Path of Exile. Today, we'd like to showcase 2 more unique items. First up we have the Auspex, an attire to
Bonito
drive
pra
your
caralho.
foes mad with. And then, a remake of a Path of Exile 1 classic, Facebreaker, which provides a variety of ways to bring the ultimate beatdown on your enemies. These are both coming in Return of the Ancients. In ancient times, a lost child was taken in by an Asmeri village. The Auspex of the village declared him an ill omen, as their crops soured and their days darkened. Thereafter, ravens gathered and mists descended.
O que tá acontecendo aqui? Cinemática de item unique?
Following him, driving him deeper and deeper into madness. Harness that madness and become the Auspex yourself.
Caralho.
Summon a singular Mist Raven, a minion that will ravage your foes and kill enemies. The Mist Raven has a unique command skill, which causes it to dive at your targets, shattering reality and
Nossa, que
creating
da
an
hora.
explosion of madness.
Nossa, que
Enemies
da hora.
killed by the Mist Raven will also grant you frenzy charges, giving the Raven extra utility. The Mist Raven also causes enemies in your presence to gain grueling madness, a slowing debuff that empowers your other slows to be even more potent.
Bom.
Finally, the Auspex also makes your deflect chance lucky while you're on low life. It seems the Mist Raven does a good job of instilling fear in your enemies.
Que da hora, que da hora.
Next up we have Facebreaker. The Ezamites and Eternal Empire have a bloody history. Some enjoyed the thrill of battle a little more than others.
8 a 12 physical damage, mais 3 mais 4 pra cada boss face broken. Nem fodendo.
Follow in the footsteps of the Red Wolf with his legendary gloves. While equipped and your hands are empty, you can use all mace skills with just your fists.
Weak.
This
Da hora.
is the ultimate Smackdown unique.
Da hora pra caralho.
As you progress through the campaign, you too can collect teeth of enemies you've pulverized. As you break their faces, you can track the bosses you've smashed on your map, with each granting you added physical damage.
Nossa.
Facebreaker provides offensive and defensive benefits for stacking up strength, so you
Porra, mano, as animações estão muito bonitas, cara. Estão muito bonitas as animações.
can become a true face-breaking powerhouse. I mean, just check this out. Hammer of the Gods? How about Fist of the Gods? You'll be able to torment minds with the Auspex and break faces with Facebreaker as you
Não, nem fodendo. Caralho, GGG. Isso aqui foi muito bom, tá?
Hammer of the Gods?
Essa skill é uma skill que era pra cair um martelo, porque você usa ela com um martelo.
How about Fist of the Gods?
Cai um fucking socão, mano. GGG. Isso aqui foi absurdo, tá? Meu Deus do céu.
As unique items in return.
Absurdo, mano, absurdo. Vamos lá, Expedition explorando o oceano.
Hi, I'm Jonathan Rogers, Game Director on Path of Exile 2. In the Runes of Alder League, logbooks are seeing some big changes. It's time to go seafaring like true explorers. Yes, you can explore the ocean. To the southeast of the Atlas lies a vast ocean with new environments to discover and treasures to unearth. In the Runes of Alder, while doing expedition encounters, you might find logbooks, and by using these on the ocean, a small part of it will be revealed. As the fog recedes, you'll discover many new islands, most of which you won't have seen before, and all of them will contain expedition encounters.
Bom.
In these encounters, you'll need to blow up the remains of buried Kalgurans, bringing them back to life only to slay them again and steal their loot. Expeditions now also include the Runes of Alder crafting remnants, granting immense opportunities with a wide selection of recipes. But there's more than just the buried dead. Each island has all sorts.
Se esse Fist custar 85 de vai ser muito paia. A base dele é bem fraquinha, né? Então, suspeita-se que a base dele vai ser low level. Se a base for low level, é extremamente difícil ele ser muito raro. É muito difícil no PoE a gente ter itens low level que são bem raros, mano. Então é bem provável que não vai ser tão caro.
Things to find and explode. In the bleached shoals, you'll discover siren eggs throughout the area, as well as clams that contain a surprising amount of riches. As you destroy the eggs, siren spawn will emerge from the water. But be careful. If you destroy enough eggs, the siren herself will arrive to defend her children. On this craggy peninsula, you can find another camp of the kin, hiding in their hovels. Blowing them up should get them out of there. And while you're at it, you can free some of their caged beasts. They've even caged some exiles in order to watch them fight with each other. Why not blow them up too? In this inland heath, you will find a gigantic remnant with a series of smaller runestones. Each one you blow up will activate another slot on the massive remnant, allowing you to craft almost any recipe. But there's still many more. Free trap wisps, blow open root doors, even raise ancient precursor technology. In order to explore the ocean further, we'll need to acquire more logbooks by killing runic monsters, indicated by large flagpoles around the dig site. With each logbook, you can explore more of the ocean, and you can go as deep as you like. There are ancient vaults.
Cara, insano, tá? Tipo, eu não tô com vontade de farmar Expedition. Tudo bem. Mas quem farmar, você não sai mais daqui, mano. Compara, por exemplo, com o pré-update ou com o PoE1. Ah, vou farmar um logbook. Ok. Você vai estar fazendo... Você compra um item, faz um logbook, acabou. Esse é o loop. Essas são as possibilidades, velho. Agora, mano, cada logbook é uma cacetada de mapa. Cada mapa tem uma cacetada de variedade. Cada variedade, tipo, realmente os mapas mudam. Porra, cara, que legal, cara. É tipo uma delve, exato. Uma delve do mar. Sei lá. Qualquer coisa. A única coisa que é fato é, tipo, expandir um monte, tá ligado? E eles falam, exato, vai demorar pra enjoar. E vai demorar pra aprender, pra masterizar também, que é legal. E eles falaram que essa profundidade que tem em todas as mecânicas vai ser o novo padrão dos eventos futuros, das ligas futuras. Então, nossa, vai ser bem legal, mano.
A bunch of new bosses, all sorts of underground areas, and a few other surprises. There's just so much to see and explore, so join us for the release of The Return of the Ancients on May 29th.
Muito da hora, vai ter muito conteúdo.
In Return of the
Muito conteúdo.
Ancients, we're making several
Você precisa
much anticipated
ver essas mudanças.
balance changes to the Chronomancer and Gemling Legionnaire Ascendancy classes. Let's take a closer look at some of them. Starting with the Gemling Legionnaire, we've expanded on how the Gemling interacts with quality on his gems. Every socketable skill in the game now has an additional quality option available through the Advanced Thaumaturgy Ascendancy skill. Once allocated, simply hold Alt while hovering your skill gems to preview an additional bonus granted by gem quality. You're gonna see some amazing
Chance de soltar 2 Additional Projects, chance de soltar 8 Additional Projects in a Circle. Da hora demais, mano.
effects. An example is Fireball. Instead of firing only 2 additional projectiles, why not fire up to 10 in a circle? Combined with consuming a fire infusion, you can fire a devastating ring of explosive projectiles that then each explode into another ring of smaller firebolts. Another example of an added quality that may also add quality to your life is Explosive Shot. Instead of having to reload after every shot, you can gain 2 more rounds in your magazine for a burst of deadly impact. With the Gemling Legionnaire's mastery of gems, he is also able to conjure a powerful barrier from his socketed skill gems, named the Virtuous Barrier. Each socketed skill gem empowers the barrier, making its effects stronger depending on the gem's required attributes. With the Virtuous Barrier skill providing some much needed defenses, and the additional qualities of over 200 different skill gems, it's more than meets the eye, and we look forward to seeing what you can come up with for your builds. Onwards to the Chronomancer. First off, let's start with one of its new notable skills, Phased Form.
Mano, ponto da ascendência adiciona efeito extra de 200 skills. Muito louco, mano.
With Phased Form allocated, and due to your mastery over time, you are able to take less damage, causing a portion of that damage to be taken after a delay. This serves as a pretty strong defensive node, especially as the delayed damage only applies to hits, so you just straight up mitigate any damage over time effects. What makes this really cool though, is that by taking Temporal Rift, the delayed damage from Phased Form can entirely be negated. If you take a big hit, then use Temporal Rift, not only does your life recover back to what it was, but the delayed damage is just eradicated. Now some changes to existing Ascendancy skills, starting with Inevitable Agony. This has received new visual and gameplay effects, such as displaying your stored damage to bosses on static life bars. Also, now when the stored damage reaches a lethal level, the effect will trigger immediately to wipe your enemy out. The Rapid River passive skill, which made recoup occur much faster, has been removed, but a lot more recoup
Ult do Zed, exato.
speed investment has been added to the core passive tree, allowing a lot more builds to gain access to this power. Additionally, a highly requested change has finally come. Time Snap and Time Freeze can now both be allocated without requiring all 8 Ascendancy points. Finally, Now and Again has been changed to cause your spellcasts to have a chance to alter time itself and both echo and repeat. Both roles are independent of each other, allowing you to unleash a powerful burst of spells all at once.
Bom.
Try out these changes and more on May 29th.
Bom. De boinha. Breach Rework Recap. Meu Deus do céu. Vou pular o recap. Vamos pro Martial Artist Showcase.
The dreamer showed me a path. But through discipline and training, I have forged my own.
Essa ascendência tá muito da hora.
In Return of the Ancients, we're adding the 3rd Ascendancy class for the Monk, the Martial Artist. The Martial Artist took his training into his own hands and has spent decades mastering his proficiency of hollow techniques, building his body into the ultimate weapon. The Monk may still walk the Dreamer's path, but the Martial Artist redefines how, mostly by punching things very hard. Let's take a look at what he has to offer.
Que classe da hora, mano. Eu tô falando, vai ter tanto monk essa liga que vai ser assustador, mano.
Starting with his exclusive skills. Hollow Focus rings a death knell for your foes. Ethereal bells constantly appear around you, and hitting them causes them to shatter with a powerful shockwave. These bells can always be killed and are always primed for stun, so using them with Killing Palm and Staggering Palm is ultra useful. These bells are also always critically hit. Why does that last bit matter? Well, Hollow Resonance thrives on critical hits. The final step for the bell-centric part of the Martial Artist is strapping a bell to your back, which will ring out whenever you critically hit an enemy, delivering damage around you. Both of these bell skills are also quite good at stunning, which will come in handy later. If you prefer keeping your distance from the fray, Hollow Form lets your astral projections do the dirty work.
Mano. Essa skill eu tenho certeza que ela não é prática, mas ela é tão legal. Você só fica, tipo, meditando e aparecem uns espíritos esporrando com qualquer ataque que você quiser. Meu amigo.
work for you. While channeling, you constantly spawn clones of yourself that attack with skills of your choice. You can also spend power charges to spawn triple the clones. For maximum damage,
Ai, meu Deus! Ai, meu Deus, Chacal, você me pegou
you can
com a mão na jeba agora! Meu Deus do céu!
also spend power charges to spawn triple the clone.
Nossa, olha isso, cara. É tão gostoso de ver isso
Your
aqui.
choice. You can also spend power charges to spawn triple the clones.
Nossa senhora, que legal, cara.
For maximum damage and maximum ruckus. And for the three of you who are thinking, but what about shapeshifting? Enjoy your meditating wolf. Of course, the martial artist has plenty to offer besides new skills,
Dá pra ter um dragão meditante, é isso mesmo?
such as taking pride in his Ezomite training by tattooing runes into his flesh. Runic Meridians gives you 5 extra rune sockets to play with.
Legal.
Perfect for all the new runes you can find in the Runes of Elder League. If you want to focus on chaining together attacks, Martial Adept and Martial Master are tailor-made for you, generating massive amounts of combo to spend on things like these, and protecting you while you do it. Remember how I mentioned being good at stunning might come in?
E vem.
Way of the Mountain covers you in a stony carapace when you immobilize enemies. The stacks are easy come, easy go, but provide massive benefits, causing your attacks to deal a lot more damage, and reducing the damage you take from smaller hits to a tickle. Last, but certainly not least,
Isso é muito
let's
legal.
put on some nice normal gloves and... wait, what the heck are these? Way of the Stone Fist transforms any gloves you equip into fists of stone until you take them off. These gloves grant truckloads of evasion and energy shield, but more importantly, they transform the explicit modifiers on the gloves you equip, and yes, it works on everything.
Mano, vai ter umas luvas que vai virar algo doido, tá? Pode ficar vendo. 10% de chance de ganhar Arcane Surge quando você dá um crítico.
This
10% de chance de ganhar o quê? 10% de Quality to All Skills. 30% Area of Effect. Da onde que tá vindo, velho? 18% More Attack Damage while on Low Mana. Da onde que tá vindo? Só vem do além, mano.
that,
Até Unique?
everything. This, that,
Calma lá. Giant's Blood e reduz Attack Speed. E com um pouquinho de Physical Damage. Global Evasion. Ataque ganha extra Physical Damage. Reduz Cast Speed ao invés de Attack Speed. E virou Hollow Palm ao invés de Giant's Blood. What the fuck, mano? Que doideira.
and yep,
Ok, a Hands, que ela ganha Lightning Damage por int, ganha Attack Speed por
even
Dex.
these.
Ganha área por int e ganha Cold Damage por Dex.
Needless to say, there's a lot to discover about this one. So that's what the class can do, but how does about this one?
Deixa eu ver aqui. Sacrifica vida pra ganhar Ward. Chance to Poison é calculada a partir da sua chance de Bleeding. Damage taken recoup numa luva. Quantidade de gold. Lixo pra cacete, mas é slower. Aham. Caralho, quanta coisa, mano. Quanta coisa.
So that's what the class can do, but how does it come together in practice? We've got a couple of endgame builds to show you to demonstrate the might of the martial artist. First up, the snowbound executioner wields a big staff, bells, and a very well-toned body to ice out his foes. Shattering Palm and Herald of Ice mow down packs of enemies and continuously trigger the shockwaves of both our bell skills. Because we're constantly freezing enemies, we're generating lots of mountains teaching stacks to keep the damage flowing and protect us while clearing.
Bom.
And we're also taking full advantage of Way of the Stone Fist with this monstrous pair of gloves. Against tougher targets,
Calma
this
aí.
pair
Não consegui identificar por que ela é tão boa. Ah, tem um mod de dano além de Onslaught? Tipo, crítico e um dano? 1000 de evasão. Ah, sim. Ok, ok.
of gloves.
Yeah.
Against tougher targets, we switch to Ice Strike and deploy even more bells per second with a temper spell. Our cooldown reduction also allows Hollow Resonance to trigger as frequently as possible for even more damage.
Massa.
If you'd rather a little more fisticuffs,
Nossa, que
we've
da
got
hora
a
vai ser
banger of a
poder
Hollow
isso.
Palm technique build for you here. If
da
you
hora.
didn't know, Hollow Palm technique is a keystone on the regular passive tree that turns your fists into weapons in their own right, so it's perfect for martial artists. This particular build uses staggering Palm's avalanche of projectiles to power up its whirling assault, and also gets great use out of Way of the Mountain thanks to how much it stuns enemies. But the centerpiece of the build is Hollow Form, and the huge benefits it gets from power charges. While clearing, we can rely on killing Palm's inbuilt power charge generation. But what to do about bosses? Well, we've made sure Killing Palm can handle those too, with Culmination and Aelith's Chimes providing a power charge engine, and Martial Adept cranking it into overdrive. Which means, when a boss crosses your path, you can just do this. It is clear to see the martial artist is a well-disciplined powerhouse.
Se fuder, mano. Essa classe
Which
tá
path
muito
will you
bonita.
choose?
Essa classe tá muito bonita. Meu amigo, a diversão por segundo aqui tá insana, tá? Meu amigo. Olha aí, mano. Fim de semana gratuito começa em 29 de maio. Então vai ser um fim de semana gratuito com 50% de promoção, velho?
Hi, I'm Jonathan Rogers, Game Director on Path of Exile 2. On May 29th, we'll be launching our next content update for PoE 2, The Return of the Ancients. But not only that, Path of Exile 2 will be free to play for the weekend. And for the first time, we have a 50% off sale if you want to buy a key. If you've been waiting for the right time to jump in, this is it.
Uau!
Players on PC, Steam, Epic, and Xbox will get 3 days of free access to our biggest update yet, as well as a new league, the Runes of Elder. By playing Runes of Elder during the free weekend, you'll also be able to earn some cosmetics for your character. In the league, you'll carve powerful runes into ancient remnants. But why stop there? Reach Clearfell Encampment to unlock the Ezomite Runescar's character skin that covers your character in bloody runic markings, inspired by Ezomite ritual
Meu
traditions.
Deus, que horrível.
Probably best not to attempt this one in real life though. Themed around the gothic atmosphere of the Chapel of the Fallen in Ogham Manor.
Tá escrito? Don't try this at home.
Themed around the gothic atmosphere of the Chapel of the Fallen in Ogham Manor, the Candlemass portal effect transforms your portal into one befitting the living right. A worthy reward for those who can defeat Count Geonor at the end of Act 1.
Nossa, de graça! Esse portal tá bonito pra tá de graça, tá?
These microtransactions are purely cosmetic and do not affect your character's power in any way. We hope you enjoy the Return of the Ancients, and we'll see you on May 29th.
Nossa, matou o boss da Ato 1, pegou o bagulho de graça, velho. Puta que pariu. Que lindo, cara. Que lindo. Recap não precisa, Ritual não precisa. Opa, novos drops da Twitch. Opa, opa.
I'm Mark Roberts, Game Director on Path of Exile.
Hi.
During the launch of Return of the Ancients, we're running 2 weeks of Twitch drops,
Boa,
as well as a supporter streamer campaign.
boa.
During the first week of launch, you'll be able to claim the Arbiter of Ash waypoint by watching your favorite creators in the Path of Exile 2 category
Isso aqui tá bonito. Assistiu a minha live por quanto tempo?
for 3 hours.
Por 3 horas você ganha portal. Ajoelhou, então vai ter que teleportar. Bonitão, mano. Bonitaço.
In week 2, you can claim the Wendigo's Crown Helmet attachment. Support your favorite
Esse tá paia. Você vê que ele nem tem como elaborar o assunto. Tem esse capacete aqui também. Paia. E se você doar... Não.
creators by
Se você doar 2 subs em qualquer live de PoE,
gifting 2 subs or subscribing to 2 channels in the Path of Exile 2 category to claim the Verisium Parasite pet. Embrace the infinite void with the Arbiter of Ash waypoint. Should other entering. Become the Nameless with the Wendigo's Crown Helmet attachment.
calma lá.
It offers 6 variations, allowing you to choose any combination you like, with or without visual effects. In addition, the helmet attachment tracks your kills across different types of monsters, be it beasts, humans, demons, constructs, or undead.
Ok.
Not all Verisium spawns
Agora ele vai explicar o patch.
desperately want to end you, some simply need a little love, like this Verisium Parasite pet. That's a good boy. All of these items are purely cosmetic.
Guys, não tem sub não, velho. Guarda o sub. Guarda o sub. Não, ó. Guarda o sub. Esta lagartixa que rola. Não. Corta isso aí, velho. Não, corta isso aí, esquece isso aí, mano. 20 conto, velho. 20 conto ou uma lagartixa ambulante, velho. Nossa senhora, velho. Ô, compre uma coca e uma coxinha, velho, pelo amor de Deus. Meu Deus do céu. Vamos lá.
Shapes, inscriptions. These are my life's work.
The more I studied, the more I began to see similar shapes in the stars above. It was then that I dedicated myself to becoming a rune seeker.
As Pharaoh so kindly explained, runes are very powerful and ancient inscriptions, and they can be socketed into your items to grant them more power. During the League, inscribing symbols into remnants will let you choose between a bunch of different crafting runes that you can use to enhance your items. When you come across a remnant, it has a number of slots ranging from 2 to 7. The more slots, the more powerful the remnant encounter, but the more options you'll have to choose between. At the start of the game, you might find yourself crafting simple damage or resistance runes that are available at a lower level than you would normally be able to get them, giving you a decent power boost. But things quickly get more interesting. There are 22 runes for adding or modifying Runic Ward, a new resource that can protect you from death. Using these runes, you can add an extra defensive layer, or turn your Runic Ward into an offensive weapon, using Kalguran Runic skills.
Será que a galera vai estar usando essas porra de ward? Eu acho que vão usar pouquinho pra castar skill só. Vamos ver como é que vai ser usado de camada defensiva mesmo.
There are also 13 runes that add powers specific to weapon types, like this one which gives a chance for grenades to explode a second time. Or this one, which gives you a new buff called Druidic Prowess, when heavy stunning enemies. In addition, there are 22 runes designed to give you power at low levels, like this one, which gives you a bunch of elemental resistances. Or this one, which gives you a ton of spirit.
Uh! Entendi. Entendi bem. Estaremos utilizando. Estaremos vindo a utilizar, né, mano? Estaremos vindo a utilizar. Se a gente pegar o peitoral de 100 de Spirit, já dá pra soquetar 200 de Spirit. Aí, corrompe. Gostei, tá? Mano, o peitoral vai ser lindo, tá? Como assim, menos 1 Spirit? Te dá 50 Spirit se você for level 1. Mas conforme você upa, vai descendo o bônus. É a limitado a 1. Abafa. Mas tá bom, requires level 15, facinho de achar, mano. Isso aqui vai descendo. Vamos dizer que você acha um level 20. Você ganha 50 e perde 10. Então você ganha 40. Conforme você vai upando, você vai descendo. É que, tipo, tem muita build, Minion, por exemplo, que se baseia em Spirit. Só que Spirit é um recurso que você não tem no level 1 do jogo. Então você tem que caçar onde tiver. E depois, conforme você avança no jogo, você vai tendo como achar Spirit de boa.
These runes are designed to be powerful, but drop off in value as you level up. They're great for power leveling a second character in the league. We also have 6 runes that can be used to expand the pool of modifiers used when doing high-level crafting. So for example, you can socket Katla's Gloom into some gloves, and it will enable the crafting of a bunch of new decay modifiers that can be used for damage over time builds.
Legal.
After socketing one of this type of rune, use regular exalts or chaos orbs to try and craft the new mods.
Legal.
There are also several runes that have one-off powerful effects on items, but are bound forever into the socket. Like this one, which allows any item to gain another suffix. Or suffix, but are bound forever
Uau! All equipment. Que legal, cara.
into the socket.
All
Like this one, which
equipment.
allows any item to gain another suffix.
Mas ir pra craftar daí, né, velho? Craftar um item com 7 mod, meu amigo.
Or this one, which allows you to create a dual socket.
Nossa, isso é muito.
Or this
Cara,
series of
quem sabe o que tá fazendo com isso aqui? Nossa senhora, vai ser muito bom. Inclusive, eu tenho que prestar atenção nisso, porque as jewels são legais pra mim também.
or this series of runes that can convert any elemental mod from one element to another. There's even a rune that can upgrade any other rune, allowing you to upgrade them beyond the normal limit.
Nossa.
The last one I want to show you today is Aldur's Legacy, a special rune that can be socketed into any Kalguran or Ezomite unique to destroy it, but create a new rune that takes some of the properties of that unique. So for
Ok.
example, use this on a Trample Toe to create a Legacy of Trample Toe rune. Socket into any boots and, just like the unique it came from, you'll deal 10% of overkill damage to all enemies in a 2-meter range.
Escorregou no Last Epoch aqui, né, velho? Deixa eu ver essa bota de novo.
Use this on a Trample
Pegou o mod dela, mas versão nerfada. Nossa, isso é muito, muito, muito forte, cara. Sabe o tanto de coisa, enorme parte das novidades dessa liga, o que que tá acontecendo? Um monte de novidade que a gente tem que ir lá ver, tá ligado? Não é só, faz isso. É tipo, faz isso com cada um dos 700 mil itens do jogo. Loucura, velho.
Toe to create a Legacy of Trample percent of overkill damage to all enemies in a 2-meter radius. Or how about the Legacy of Twisted Empyrean? Destroy a Twisted Empyrean, and you can add cold damage based on your maximum mana to any weapon.
Nossa.
With Aldur's Legacy, you can create another 100 or so runes with all sorts of unique effects. At this point you might be thinking, that's a lot of new runes. And you'd be right. This is the runes of Aldur after all, but we didn't want the old
Pera lá, pera lá. Mais um charm slot pra capacete? Fazer, faz que para isso no meu Darkness entrou, né? Você que parece meu Darkness Entrone, que pode soquetar itens como se fosse um capacete? Para ele ter 4 slots? E se ele ter 4 slots eu ganho mais 40 de Spirit aqui? Entendi. Mais 40 to Spirit. Entendi bem agora, tá bom? Então deixa eu aumentar aqui mais um pernilongo, mais 2 pernilongos. 30 pernilongos, mano. Tamo indo bem, tamo indo bem. Tamo indo bem aqui.
effects. At this point you might be thinking, that's a lot of new runes. And you'd be right. This is the runes of Aldur after all, but we didn't want the old runes to be left behind either. A significant number of the old runes that were not being used have been buffed as well, making this crafting system significantly better.
Massa.
Explore everything runes have to offer in the
Massa pra caralho, mano. Nossa, que runa pesada, mano. Challenges and rewards a gente já viu, né? Já viu as...
this challenge.
Tá, a gente não viu teoricamente, né, tipo, o que é cada challenge a gente não viu. Ah, já estamos aqui, né, foda-se. Vamos lá.
Every 2 challenges you complete will give you a piece of the Knight of Alder armor set, so it's worth giving them a shot. To check out your progression and requirements to complete a challenge, just hit H to open up the challenges screen. There are 8 challenges in all, and they progress from pretty easy to pretty hard. To complete the Rune Seeker, you'll need to find remnants with an ever-growing number of slots and use them to craft new items. The 7-slot crafts can be pretty challenging, with 6 waves of enemies, so attempting one of these fights could require some skill.
Ok.
Throughout the campaign, there are many optional bosses. To complete the Hunter, you will need to hunt down 6 of them. The last 2, Acthe the Final Sting and Anunda the Sandworm, can be
Fácil.
pretty tough to find, being in the Kari Crossing. In order to track them down, follow the dry riverbed. You'll find their arena at the end.
Ah lá, outra dica escondida de onde progredir nos mapas, mano.
The Ascendant requires you to gain all 8 points of your Ascendancy class by doing Ascendancy trials. Getting the final set of points can be pretty challenging though. You'll either need to defeat Zarok on the 4th level of the Trial of the Sycamas, or defeat the Trial Master from the Trial of
Cara, eu odeio com tanta força o andar 4 dos Trials, mas com tanta força, que sem brincadeira, no 1.0, pode escrever o que eu tô falando, no 1.0 eu vou fazer 4 vídeos sobre como fazer a Trial 4, velho. Eu vou fazer 4 vídeos diferentes pra dar o apoio completo, porque, meu amigo, eu não ligo pros Trials, mas o quarto vai se fuder, mano. O quarto é muito câncer pra mim, mano.
Chaos by finding all 3 keys. Of the 2, the Trial of Chaos will take you much longer due to having to run the trial multiple times, but the Trial of the Sycamas is more challenging, so you'll have to decide which of these 2 paths to take. The Reliquarian is simple. Identify 50 different unique items.
Uou.
Having a tough time finding uniques?
Legal.
Jardo, the Atlas Master, has a lot of abilities that specialize in finding them.
Legal.
To complete the Artisan, you'll need to use a bunch of different crafting items, all of which come from Remnant encounters. For the Cartographer, you'll need to allocate your entire Atlas tree.
Nossa, tá muito bonito essa Atlas Tree nova, mano. Que delícia. Dá pra equipar todos os pontos, foda-se.
All 300 nodes. You can do this the slow way by completing all the maps inside the fortress, but there's another way too. Each time you defeat the Arbiter of Divinity, you'll gain the ability to automatically complete a large section of the fortress. Find keys to his fight by searching for citadels in the Atlas. Each of them have big glowing beams so you can see them in the fog. After fighting him 4 times, the entire fortress will be completed. And last but certainly not least, the Vanquisher. This challenge requires killing 3 pinnacle bosses, the hardest fights in the game.
Ok.
Tangmazu, the Bodark, and the Vessel of Kulamark. These are the pinnacles of Delirium,
O Kulamark
Ritual,
é muito
and
fácil,
Abyss
né?
Leagues, so you'll need to do these 3 quest lines in order to do this challenge. One important thing with the Vessel of
Ué, o da Breach mandou abraço? Ué?
Kulamark, though, is you need to defeat him at full strength. That means risking the item during the boss fight by returning the finger and defeating him anyway. Now, as I said before, every 2 challenges you complete will get you pieces of the armor set, so you don't have to do all of them to get some rewards. But if you do, you'll be able to show off your prowess, because everyone in global chat or in the forums can see how many challenges you've earned. You'll also get this totem decoration for your hideout, meaning that forevermore, people who trade with you will be able to see that you were there and you defeated the League. Try out these challenges and more on May 29th
Show.
in Return of the Ancients. Thanks for
Show, show, show. Então só tem o totem da liga agora quem completar todos os challenges. Antes o totem ia crescendo, né?
Hi, I'm
Bom.
Jonathan Rogers, Game Director on Path of Exile 2. We've added a ton of new quality of life features in Return of the Ancients. Here's a couple you'll find useful in the endgame. The Atlas now has a search box that updates live as you type.
Bom
If you
demais
have a
isso.
specific map you'd like to run, just key in the name of it and you'll be able to locate it instantly.
Oh, ficou
Hitting
bonito esse
enter will
quality
move
of
you
life.
from map to map, allowing you to easily move between them. This works on more than just map names. You can find biomes, powerful bosses, or even specific mods. Really anything about a map you can think of. and this can come in handy if you get specific tablets that you want to use with specific mechanics. So for example, if you get a tablet that adds extra essence encounters, you might want to run it with a map that boosts essences. By typing essence in the search box, you can find maps that will affect them, like this map, which causes essence packs to have 2 rares in them. Now that we have trade market search built into the game client, we've also added the ability to price check items you find more easily. Shift-Alt clicking an item will now instantly search for it on the trade market,
Já vimos
showing you the
isso.
quality of the items primarily coming to Path of Exile 2. And with it comes some serious tabception.
Aba de
Stick to
bug. Já
tools
vimos
stash
tudo
tab.
isso. Já vimos tudo isso. Dá pra dar price check no bagulho instantaneamente, mano. Gemas de Kalgur.
Hi, I'm Jonathan Rogers, Game Director on Path of Exile 2. The Runes of Alder League contains remnant encounters that can grant you a huge variety of rewards. Among these are Kalguran skills, fusions of Kalguran rune shapes, and Rayclast magic that are powered by your runic ward instead of mana. They also don't have attribute requirements, meaning they can be used with any class. You'll need to plan your ward costs around them, but with the right armor, and maybe a rune or two, you can augment your character with runic might, or even make a build dedicated to these new skills. Raise chilling volatile orbs with Bitter Dead, which spends ward to create chilling cores to seek out your enemies and explode them,
Legal.
also dealing damage and leaving behind a rune that deals cold damage over time.
Bem legal.
Exploding the corpses of enemies after they're dead might feel a little ancient. Instead, detonate your foes while they're still alive, causing enemies hit with detonate living that are under the cull threshold to immediately explode.
Legal.
Conductive Runes spends ward to create a number of runes
E detalhe que você pode fazer o combinho pra fazer os inimigos ser culado fácil pra caralho.
in front of you. After arming, these hazardous runes will explode when stepped on by an enemy, dealing lightning attack damage and causing electrocution buildup. This skill excels in getting you out of your current predicament, incapacitating pursuers or getting you out of a tight corner. Runeforged Blade spends ward to make supported skills fire projectiles after fully armor breaking an enemy. Investing into projectile modifiers like Pierce or Chain will boost it even further. Eternal March taps into your reserves of runic ward to instantly restore your dead minions to life. Use it as a panic button when a boss crushes your army into dust, or even provide more fuel for minion explosions. Just be careful, as spending this much ward will leave you vulnerable. If you want to cosplay a turtle without holding a pesky
Cara, eu totalmente viajei aqui pensando que a live tava travando? Não sei. Totalmente viajei aqui pensando, cara, tipo, semana que vem eu tenho muito que fazer altos conteúdos no Requiem. Tipo, é impossível eu não jogar Requiem semana que vem. Só que aí eu tô pensando, cara, off live eu não tô fazendo muita coisa. Tipo, eu tô em período de jogar, não em editar coisas urgentes que nem eu tava com o último online, por exemplo. Então eu posso fazer uma live gigante semana que vem. Semana que vem, todos os dias da semana que vem, eu posso fazer uma live gigante. Eu posso fazer, tipo das, sei lá, 3 às 8 jogando PoE e da 8 à meia-noite jogando Requiem, tá ligado? Dá pra fazer os dois. Dá pra fazer live gigante semana inteira, mano. Acho que é uma call. Acho que é uma call boa pra cacete, velho. Call boa pra cacete.
shield. Runic Reprieve has you covered, literally. This channeled spell behaves quite similarly to raising your shield, blocking all hits you take. It even protects your back.
Que da hora!
However, every time you're hit, your ward depletes, and you can't recover it while
Que
channeling.
da hora!
Additionally, every hit causes heavy stun buildup on you, just like raising your shield.
Nossa, o roleplay disso aqui,
Additionally,
mano. Ô,
Every hit causes
foda-se a eficiência.
heavy
Olha esse roleplay que da hora, mano.
stun buildup on you, just like raising your shield. Sometimes what's buried in the past can still hurt you. Fragments of the Past creates a Verisium volcano, which spews ice fragments around you for a duration. This is an excellent way to augment your ice fragment builds, complementing your Wolf's Cross Slash or a Freezing Salvo ice build, as well as others. Try out these Kalguran gems and more
Boom,
on
boom,
May
boom.
29th in the Return of the Ancients launch.
Bom, 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 bom. Boss carregando um Hadouken, tô tentando bloquear com isso no cinema. Bom demais, mano, bom demais. Apresentação dos mestres do Atlas, a gente já viu. Mas e aí, tem spoiler novo agora? Genesis 3 Crafting.
Numbers of the Hiveborn continue to grow. They long for our world. We need to turn the tide in our favor. For it is time we take the war to them.
Alright, thanks Aelith. I'll take it from here. As we've just heard, the Hiveborn are a real problem. But what can we possibly do about it? There's one thing up our sleeve, a gift from the Dreamer himself, and it stands proudly in the monastery of the Keepers of the Flame. And that is the Genesis tree in all its monstrous glory. The tree is split up into various branches. The branches all start from a respective womb on the tree. To birth items from the tree, we'll need womb gifts. We can bring those to the tree to grow them by placing them into a womb, but they'll need something to help them grow. When we kill the Hiveborn Aelith spoke of, we accumulate hive blood. That's right, we'll be using the blood of our enemies to feed these things. To upgrade our weapons tree. Now, each is on currents on the tree. On this branch, if we
Será que tem novidade?
let's fuse
Aqui tá muito deep pro
towards
que eu
themselves.
gostaria.
Let's take Zophs. Now our volcanoes will crit twice as much.
Nossa, que da hora isso aqui. Em amuleto. Meu amigo, que bagulho absurdamente forte.
This here is the belt branch. Now, minion players, have you felt your belts have been lacking? With Stench of Carrion, our birthed belts can roll minion modifiers.
Opa!
Then if we take Necrosis, we'll always get a minion modifier.
Opa!
And finally, with Wrapped in Dread, our birthed belts will always have 2 minion modifiers.
Fala dele! Minion mod... Porra, nenhum desses me afeta?
Don't worry, casters, we see you too. We have the same sort of approach here.
Que triste.
Imperfect Sacrifice allows caster modifiers. Sorcerer's Scar will always have caster modifiers, and Branded with Hexes will always have 2. Now we have the ring branch of the tree. There's a note on this branch that will allow you to birth a more powerful version of a familiar ring. This gives you a chance to birth breach rings from the tree, with even more quality than you've been able to
Meu
previously
Deus do
obtain.
céu.
If we combine this with an item birthed from the currency branch, then we'll be able to get this ring to 65% maximum quality. This will be awesome for Mine of a Matter enjoyers.
Meu amigo.
And this is only scratching the surface of what's possible with the Genesis tree.
Nossa senhora, cara. Que doideira. Agora foi todos os spoilers, hein, mano. Cara, eu estou pensando em farmar Breach. Eu acho que Breach é o que mais vai combinar com o playstyle da minha build, mano. Tipo, matar vários bichos e de preferência que não sejam tão fortes. Eu acho que eu vou de Breach, mano.